From the studios of Foxborough Cable Access, located in the center of Foxborough, Massachusetts, you are watching Around Foxborough.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Around Foxborough. My name is Julie Love. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Kane Rogers, and he has been an amazing tattoo artist in our area. So without further notice, Kane, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So Kane, tell us who you are.
Where to begin? I don't know. Kane Rogers. I started tattooing about 10 or 11 years ago. I am basically somewhat completely self-taught. I started out in LA when I was living there for a while and came back here and opened a shop and been running that since. Brass Rose Tattoo for the last 7 years now. Would be my actually anniversary a month ago in June. And I'll maybe leave some of the questions up to you.
So Kane, I know you mentioned quickly about your main store. So can you repeat it again? And if you have Instagram page, website, where it is that people can find you?
So my Instagram is Kane Rogers, Kane. And then the shop is Official Brass Rose Tattoo. And I have two artists that work for me that are both very talented, and I love their work. Ronnie Dutra Tattoo is one, and Yo Migs, that's Ronnie and Miguel. There are two Instagrams. But you can also find them right off Official Brass Rose Tattoo Instagram page. And same on Facebook. And actually our website has it all now too, just brassrosetattoo.com.
Yes, and it's located in Milford. And I know.
Yeah, Milford, Mass, right next to the RV, 12 Beach Street.
Yes, so I know you are completely booked.
Yeah.
Very, very popular. And how did you get so popular?
I do my best to take care of people as much as possible, make them feel happy, welcome, and always try to do the best job I can. But good customer service, I guess, might be one thing. Because I've heard of clients that have been to other people and they were like, oh, well, even if he did a good job, he was, maybe they didn't talk to me, or they were that nice, or they were different little things like that. But I try to give my clients and treat them as friends and give them the utmost respect and responses I can.
So Kane, I know that your art of work, tattoo, is just incredibly intricate and so amazing. So how does that work for the people who don't really know the process of getting tattoos? And do they bring the image for you, or do you draw? And how does that process work?
That is actually probably one of the other reasons that I do have, book out and have a good following. I've had a very good knack. My dad's an architect, and his parents and stuff are different types of art and everything. I have a knack for someone just telling me what they want and designing it. And generally when I design something, it's first try. They like the first thing I do. I don't have many times where they need redesign. And so I don't mind if a person has reference photos to show me what they like. I actually do prefer that, but I basically do a consult, let them sit down, tell me what they're looking for, where they want to put it, maybe what their budget could be and how big they want to go and what their pain tolerance may be. And then I'll design the tattoo. Sometimes it could be a couple weeks before, sometimes it's days if it's smaller. Depends, how backed up I am and whatnot. but I always try to design something for them, send them an image, let them tell me what they think of it, and then they come in and I show them again, and we print it out, and I put it up and show them the size and see. I also use an iPad Pro now, which are fantastic because with Procreate, I can take a photo of their shoulder and put the design on them and let them get an idea of how it will actually look on them. And then if they're okay with it and they like it, we go ahead and tattoo it on them.
So when you started doing the tattoo, you said you self-taught, like, how did you really get started? Like, you got the tool, you, like, maybe I have no idea how you started. And then from there to here that you're so professional and then you have wait list after wait list.
So when I started, I was living in California, and me and Quasi, who I still live with, actually, you know him, we were living somewhere, and somebody moved in with us, and he tattooed, but he wasn't actually a tattoo artist. He had gotten so many tattoos and wanted to do it himself, but he saw drawings, and somebody had told me that before, like, oh, you should try tattooing. But he actually had something for me to try, or he had a machine and the equipment. So I gave it a shot and tattooed on my own leg, and I did that quite a bit. And my legs are covered from the waist down now, but I did that for a couple months, and then I came back to Massachusetts and bought my own setup and everything, and went from there. But I do a lot of research and studying and figuring out. So even nowadays, YouTube is a godsend. You can go on there and find so much stuff, and just compare notes. Even I would check somebody else's work and see how they were doing something, and then I've gotten advice from other people over the time, but I never did a formal apprenticeship, like the couple thousand hours and sat with somebody. So.
Well, each tattoo that we see on Instagram and then on people, like, so intricate. And then I know some of the artworks really take so long, like maybe like 5-6 hours sometimes. How do you keep your focus?
Just a lucky gift, I guess, where I have hyper focus, and that's my happy place when I get to just stay in the zone for a while. I couldn't answer that very well, to be honest. It's just something I am naturally good with.
And what are your favorite tattoos that you draw? Like, scenic animals, like any like, favorite that you have?
Yeah, so I love doing animal portraits. We've done a lot of lions, tigers. I would love to do a chimpanzee soon if anyone's in the market. Roses and flowers. And funny enough, because I actually didn't come up with the name Brass Rose. It was something that I was working with, and it was something he came across or kind of suggested, and works out perfect because roses are definitely one of my absolute favorites. And script, and also one second. What am I thinking of? I do all black and gray. Realism, I do like different things, but yeah, definitely nature scenes, flowers, and animals. Those are probably my top three.
That's awesome. So, again, your Instagram is
J Kane Rogers, and that's Kane and Rogers, no D.
great. So people can go to your Instagram and check all your tattoos that you've done in the past, and then it's quite an art, and then it's really truly impressive.
Well,
And
thank you.
what is your goal coming up, maybe 5 to 10 years as a tattoo artist, as a person?
My one main goal for ever since I've started was, and I don't want to sound pompous or anything, but I do desire to be one of the best that ever lived. And so I will strive to do that and put everything I can into every tattoo and make every person as happy as possible, and spread the work and love and everything. And I want to open a second shop in LA. My first shop is in Mass, so down the road I want to have a second shop in LA. But I would also like to do not nationwide, worldwide conventions. So I'm doing like the Boston convention in September, which is from September 17th to the 19th this year. But after that, I would like to do like the Italy, the Milano convention, and start branching out in that sense, and travel more and work around the world a lot more to spread things. As I have been lucky enough to tattoo a few people. I had one client that was leaving to France the next day, and he found the shop somehow or found me, and he came with an interpreter and got a really cool tattoo, a dream catcher and some script and stuff on his arm, and then went back to France the next day. So I know it's nice to have him in France walking around with that. And I have a couple of people, I think, from Russia that went back with something, and I think even Japan too. But those are pretty much my basic goals for now.
What is a convention?
So a convention is where they do them for all types of things, sports, even dentists and doctors have those. But it's like, a big, not a warehouse, but they use convention centers and stuff, like Prudential Mall in Boston has one. Yeah, and there's a ton of booths lined up, and you just walk around, and everyone has their own little setup, and you can get tattooed on the spot. Generally, I try to book something big and impressive if it's in the area, because I'm not looking for new clients, but I'm not stressing for new clients in a sense. So I more want to show off, I guess I could say. So I try to go and do like a really big piece or something really, really good, and then enter it in their contest after. And they'll do best black and gray, medium, best sleeve, best back piece, stuff like that. So I'll try to do something to enter in that, and kind of, I'm hoping to find sponsors from there in a sense, and have the different tattoo companies catch an eye and notice that way.
That's so exciting about the convention.
Yeah, this one is going to be pretty good, because now I have my two fellow artists that are working with me, and they're both very, really solid. And 2 years ago, when I did Boston before all the COVID happened, I worked it alone. I was just at a booth by myself and just tattooing, and it was not the best look in a sense. So now I'll go and I'll have a full shop, and I'll have my manager there, the shop manager, which we just hired. That, I think I told you about that, Lisa. She's doing well with that, and keeping everything in control and whatnot.
Awesome. So I know tattoo is permanent on the skin, and then for you and maybe the clients too. But how do you feel when your art is on somebody's body, like you said, walking around in France and Japan, like basically everywhere? Like, what is your satisfaction reward? How do you feel as a tattoo artist tattooing so many people every day?
It escapes me a little bit. It's one of those things where it can be nerve-wracking coming up to it, and wondering, hoping that they're going to be as happy as I want to be about it. And then when I finish and they are, that's the most gratifying thing, when they are very excited. I had a girl just the other day. She started with the big piece, and it was her first one, but she ran out to the car, and her aunt's picking her up. She's, I'm so psyched. And and I was like, that's nice. And there's been the times where someone's cried when they finished and saw it, if it was a memorial piece, and that's extremely gratifying, and I appreciate that to no end. But I do lose track and fall in the space of doing the work and paying attention to each client at the time of. So sometimes I forget about, who has what or what I've done, or I'll remember the second you say it, but I do live in the moment in a sense and pay attention to everyone individually.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much, Kane, for coming to Around Foxborough today. Unfortunately, we are running out of time, but I would love to have last word for our audience
For me?
from you.
Well, I guess I could say I hope everyone out there is doing great and living their best life, as funny as that statement has become. But also, if you're in the market for any black and gray tattoos, script realism, anything like that, feel free to reach out to Grass Rose Tattoo. You can search it and just find it online or Instagram. But we also were lucky enough to just win best shop in the Metro West recently. So that's thank you. That's a cool little notch in the belt to have. And other than that, yeah, I'm very open and very accommodating. So if you ever need anything, let me know. I'm here and reach out any way you can.
Yes.
And thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And you are looking for somebody who's looking for chimpanzee tattoo too.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. And a piercer. I actually want to hire a piercer. So if anybody out there is looking to find a place to do piercing at and they've been doing it and know what they're doing, please contact us.
That's great. Kane, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on Around Foxborough. And you being such an amazing friend, artist, and such a great soul. And I really wish you all the best for your tattoo career and the best ever lived tattoo artist.
Thank you. And same to you. And I can't wait to see which movie you're in next.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for watching Around Foxborough. My name is Julia. Our executive producer is Michael Weber. Our director is Paul Beck. Our website is fcatv.org. You can click on Video on Demand and then click on Around Foxborough to watch all the episodes. Thank you again.
Thank you. Bye.